DJ turn it louder, feel the bass. I'm lost in your eyes in this place. Everybody dancing, but I see you. Every step I take just leads to you. I'm tired of hiding what I feel inside. Tonight's the night I'm crossing the line. Fire, fire, fire. It's you that I desire. Fire, fire. I want you to be mine, 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 mine. Please tell me so. How do I confess? How do I confess? Eat that, fire. Eat that, eat that, fire. If I pull you closer, would you run away? If I say I love you.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be checking out this hyper scooter called the GlideZone JL86. This is a dual motor setup on this one with peak power of up to 10,000 watts. This scooter can give you speeds up to 50 miles per hour, long range up to 75 miles. It does have a 60 volt, 40 amp hour battery. This is a heavy duty scooter, guys. It has a load rating of up to 440 pounds, and the scooter does weigh in at 124 pounds. All right, let me step up on the scooter, show you how I fit. All right, these handlebars are just about the perfect height for me at 6 foot tall. I do feel like if you're a much taller person, these might feel a little bit low to you, but they feel just fine for me at this height. As you can see, this is a large scooter. Like I said, it does weigh in at 124 pounds. Most of that weight is way down at the bottom though with the motors and the battery, so it still feels pretty nimble up here at the top. Let me get you in here, we'll take a closer look at the features, then we'll take this thing out for a ride. First of all, let's take a look at these big fat tires. These are 13-inch tires, which is huge for a scooter. These are sized 125/60-7. This is the tread pattern on them. It is pretty much an on-road tread pattern, but it does have some deep grooves, so it will work pretty well off-road as well. The scooter does come with Cadet branded hydraulic brakes. These are 4-piston calibers. These are going to have some great stopping power, guys. I've used these brakes quite a bit. Good set of brakes. The rotors don't have numbers on them, but they look like they're 180 millimeter rotors. As far as the suspension goes, they do say this is a full hydraulic suspension. There is no adjustments on top of the stanchions. Either way, between the fat tires and the suspension on the scooter, you're going to have a pretty soft ride. On the rear, they do have the HLT 100 suspension. It says 1,600 pounds, and there is 2 shocks on the rear. That rear suspension definitely has a stiffer feel than the front. Let me give you a closer look at the deck. It does say Junling on it. It does have the grip tape on it. It was coming up a little bit. I did have to glue it down up here in the front. Let me show you how my size 12 feet fit on here. You got plenty of room on here. You can stand way up at the front, all the way in the back. It does have the kick step back here. You can pretty much fit your whole foot on it. This is pretty heavy duty. This scooter does have an available seat and cargo rack that can be installed right here. The bolts are already there for it if you want to install the seat. The seat is sold separately, or you can order the scooter with the seat. The deck does have an access panel with a locking code on it where you can access the battery. Let me open this, twist a little knob here, swing this to the side. It's already unlocked. This is your battery. It does have the Anderson style connector. You can take the battery out if you want to. The battery does say 60 volts, 40 amp hours. Max charging voltage, 67.2. Discharge current, 100 amps. Max charging, 8 amps. So this is definitely a large battery, guys. They say it can give you up to 75 miles of range. That's definitely going to be riding on the lower modes, maybe on single motor. Here's a look at the rear swing arm. It is really nice, heavy-duty anodized metal. The calibers are anodized red as well. This is what the bottom frame of the scooter looks like. This is all metal. You are going to have some ambient lights under here. It does say Junling down the side. And this does come with a heavy-duty kickstand. Before we take this out the ride, let me show you how it can fold. You do have to unlock these levers on the side. These put a tension on it. There is a little lever here that can flip down like that, and then you're going to pull the big lever. You might want to put a little bit of weight against the front fork. There you go. After you unlock the main latch, you do need to hold the secondary latch down to release the pressure. Then you can lay the handlebars down. And it actually locks in the lower position. But like I said, this is definitely not a light scooter. This does weigh 124 pounds. You might want to lift this with 2 people. Whoa. Either way, when you put the handlebars down like that, you will be able to get the scooter in the back of a vehicle. Let's fold it back up. Push that lever. Stand it up. It locks into place all on its own on the first latch, but then you're going to lock the big latch and tighten down the levers on the side. All right, let's take a look at the handlebars. Let's fire it up here, press the power button. You can set up a password. It is all zeros out of the box. You can put the zeros in using the plus and minus button, then hit the M to move on to the next one. Make it all zeros, it will unlock. But it does come with NFC cards. You do have to add these through the system. I already did that. You just tap them on the back of the screen here, and then it will unlock the scooter. All right, the display is red and white. Looks like it's flashing in the camera, but it's not flashing like that, guys. Right here, it shows you if you're in one-wheel mode or two-wheel mode. To switch it to two-wheel, you do hit the M button over here, and it will switch to two-wheel. You do get a power level indication up here at the top, large mile per hour reading. This is your battery life indication down here on the bottom. When you start it up, it starts a timer right over here. This is your mode over here. You got 3 modes on this one, so you can switch that using the plus and minus. You get mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. This timer can be changed just by cycling through the power button right here. It's going to give you trip, odometer, voltage, back to the timer. Even though it looks like it has 3 modes over here, there's actually a button over here to put this thing in eco mode or turbo mode underneath the throttle. So you're going to have 3 modes of eco, and then you're going to have 3 modes in turbo. So those are all going to give you different speeds. The max speed in eco mode is like 11 or 12 miles an hour, something like that, a very safe speed. If you want to unlock all the power on this, you are going to hit this turbo mode down here, and then this thing is going to fly. Over on the left side, you get your rear brake. Like I said, these are a nice set of Cadet hydraulic brakes. They do take DOT fluid. The hand grips have a nice shape to them. They are kind of rubberized, a little bit sticky, which is good to hold on to. These brake levers do have a little bit of a curve to them, so you can actually hold the grips and use the brakes with one finger. That is a nice feature. Like I said, on the control panel, you get your up and down for your modes. You do have a headlight switch. You have a horn. The horn has a little bit of an electronic sound to it. This scooter does have turn signals as well down here on the bottom, and they actually do flash on the screen. I don't hear any beeping, but it's flashing on the screen. This scooter does come with a Bluetooth speaker on the front, and all these headlights and the ambient lights as well. When you fire it up, it is going to try to pair for Bluetooth. You get that beeping sound. It just connected to my phone because my Bluetooth is already on. You can play music through the Bluetooth speaker. We will check that out, and we will check out all the lights. On the right side, you do get the thumb throttle. You do have the button for your eco and turbo mode down at the bottom here, and your front brake is over here on the right. Okay, let me give you a look at the lights on this scooter. This thing is just covered in RGB lighting and ambient lighting. You get it down here on the bottom, all the way around the kick step on the back, runs all the way around the back. Take a look at the taillights here. They are blue in color. Let me pull the brake light. You do have a brake light back here in the back. One thing I forgot to show you, the charging port for the scooter is over here on the right side. I will put the charging amps up on the screen. All right, guys, let's take a look at the lights. This thing is going to look like a train coming at you at night. It does have 7 lights on the front, 3 down there at the bottom, 4 up at the top. The one in the middle is an angel eye setup, and that is the Bluetooth speaker as well. Lots of bright lights. They're definitely going to see you coming with that setup. All right, everyone, we're out here in the GlideZone Junling JL86 scooter. We are going to go through the modes. The sun is not going to last long today. I've been struggling to get out and film because the weather has been horrible for weeks. Rainy day after rainy day after rainy day. So let's get through these modes and try this thing out. Right now it's definitely in eco mode. Let me put it in single motor here. Remember to switch it to single motor. You hit the M button. It will show you one-wheel drive. Get it down in mode 1. This thing is very, very mild when it's in eco mode. I mean, anybody can ride this thing. For being a 10,000 watt, 50 mile an hour scooter, you can tame this thing way down in eco mode. All right, it's giving us about 9 miles an hour there. Let's check mode 2. It's not going to go a whole much higher in eco mode. I think it tops out at 11 or 12 miles an hour. All right, let me bump it up to mode 3 here, see if that gives us anything else. And no, it doesn't. So in eco mode, that is your speed, 10, 11 miles an hour. Let's try dual motor, see if that makes any difference on eco mode. You're probably going to get a little bit more torque for some light hill climbing on eco mode on dual motor. All right, now what we're going to do, we're going to press this turbo button over here, and that is going to change the whole demeanor of this scooter. Let's put it back in single motor. One thing I noticed is you cannot put the mode down to 0, so you can't turn the power completely off. Mode 1 is the lowest. All right, we're in single motor, mode 1. Let's try it out. This is in turbo mode. Still pretty mild in mode 1. Obviously giving us more speed though. Showing about 17 on board there. Let me start this GPS app in my pocket. We will be able to check these speeds and see how accurate they are. Probably going to put it in my pocket each time and then check the top speed. That way I can hold on to these handlebars on this powerful scooter. We'll see what it tops out in mode 1 here. And then we'll try it in 2-wheel drive and see if that changes the top speed at all, or if that just gives you more acceleration. All right, showing us 17 on board again. Check that GPS. Showing us we maxed out at 18 miles an hour. So the speedometer seems to be pretty accurate here. I think we'll be able to try mode 2, and then we'll have to go up to the top of the hill to check what we can get for top speed. They do say this thing can go 50, 52 miles an hour. So far, mode 1, 1-wheel drive, pretty tame. It's a nice speed. All right, I put it in 2-wheel drive. That did give us an extra 1 or 2 miles an hour on mode 1. All right, I'm just gonna leave it in dual motor for now. Let's check mode 2, see what kind of speed we can get. Doing a little acceleration run here. All right, let's go. All right, no wheel spin, but it's really strong, guys. It does have those big 13-inch tires. That's gonna help with the wheel spin. They are nice and wide. So we're running 30 miles an hour here, 31. Good thing we got these 4-piston hydraulic brakes on here. You're definitely gonna need it on this scooter. All right, showed 31 on the onboard, and we got 30 on the GPS. Like I said, it's running real accurate here. This is my normal hill climb here. We'll do the hill climb, guys. But as you can already guess, this thing is just gonna rip up the hill, and it's probably gonna be going faster than I can even make the turn up there, so I'm gonna have to brake either way. But yeah, we'll give it a little pull here. Dual motor, mode 3. All right, put some weight down on that front wheel. We're ripping. Absolutely ripping. Bend the knee a little bit. I'm not even going there, guys. I'm not even going there. We were pushing 40 up the hill. About the fastest I can make that corner is about 36, so yeah, you don't need to worry about your hill climbing ability on this beast. I'll do one acceleration run up here, and we'll see what kind of speed I can coax out of this thing. We'll see if the scooter gives up first or if I give up first. Let's do this acceleration run here. Gotta catch my breath first. This thing's scary, guys. All right, let's go. Front wheel spin, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Topping out the hill here. Let's see what it'll do. Feels pretty stable, actually, so it's not that scary. I do weigh 215 pounds, and I'm pretty tall, so I'm definitely cutting the wind here. Get a little low. I gotta shut it down, guys. This is the longest road stretch I have around here, so that's as fast as I'm gonna be able to get this thing to go, guys. We're showing 46 or 47 on board there. All right, let's see what the GPS shows. 45 miles an hour on the GPS. Whew. And yeah, that's some heart-pounding speed on a scooter. Let me tone this thing down a little bit here. Exhilarating, guys and gals. If you want some exhilaration, get you one of these. We didn't hit 50, we hit 45. I'll tell you what though, I ain't mad at it. 45, felt good and stable, and it got there real quick. The acceleration was insane. When you do an acceleration pull on this thing, you better be hanging on. I do like this one though, guys. I didn't know if I would like it. Some of these big ones are just too big for me. This one just feels a little better. You can cut up a little bit with it. I think the handlebars are low enough to be controllable. Like I don't feel like I'm riding like up here, you know? I can put my weight down on these bars and lean into it. It feels nice and stable. I can fully vouch for these cassette brakes, guys. I've had some real good rides with cassette brakes. They've always impressed me on e-bikes. But let's see here. We'll try it from about 20. That shouldn't toss us. Lean back right here at the end of the pavement. I only gave him about an 80% pull. That's what I was comfortable doing. Stopped us real quick, about 20 feet from 20 miles an hour there. So the street treads, they bite in nicely for braking power. So yeah, you're not gonna have any issue with these brakes. I can definitely tell you that. Mode 2 is where it's at, guys. It's got enough zip to it to feel comfortable. Although, like I said, you still gotta hang on. I think mode 3 is just a little bit ludicrous, personally. Let's see what mode 2 gives us again as far as maybe trying to do some long range cruising. This does have a big battery, 40 amp hour, 60 volts. So mode 2 is cruising, 30 miles an hour. I think we hit 31 when we tested it. That's gonna be a good mid-range cruising speed. They claim 75 miles of range. I probably would never get that at my weight and the way I ride. I wouldn't be surprised to get something like 40 miles of range though, even ripping it around. I don't think I'm gonna be doing 40 miles today. That sun's gonna be going down. It'll be dark out here. All right, it's gonna be wet wherever we go. It rained and it rained and it rained. Whoa, got a little wheel spin there on the front. I think I discovered where that springy suspension might become a bit of an issue. Like I said, it doesn't have like rebound dampening. So when you jump over a tree root or something like that, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get that rebound knock, that where it drops quick. And there's no adjustment knobs, so anyhow, it's gonna be very capable off-road. Big tires, tons of power. The tires, they're probably better for the road. Let me get this giant light set on here. Check that out, guys. I'm not kidding. This thing looks like a train. It looks like a freight train coming at you with these lights. I'm kind of glad to be out here because you guys got to see these lights. And you can see what they're throwing down there. I have no idea how many watts of power these lights are drawing. It's probably quite a bit. There's 7 lights on there. And you can't switch them individually or anything. They're all on. The other thing about it, it does have the Bluetooth speaker. But the Bluetooth speaker, let's hit the big bumps here first. All right. Hey, not bad, not bad. That wasn't bad at all. The Bluetooth speaker cannot be on without the lights. It doesn't have an independent light switch. You have to turn the lights on to pair the Bluetooth speaker. And that's a little bit of an issue for me. I think it should have a separate light switch for the Bluetooth speaker so you can ride with the Bluetooth speaker in the daytime with the lights off. You don't want these lights on all the time, draining your power when you're just trying to listen to your music. Let's blast across the dam here. I'm gonna put it in mode 3. Ready, guys? Let's go. Shut it down, man. Shut it down. Puddle of water there at the end. There's gonna be tons of water in that creek. Yes, there is. I'm kind of curious if I can get this thing across the creek up here at the top. You know what? This don't feel half bad for a scooter off-road. These tires are big enough. You're always worried about your tire diving into a hole. Oh man, guys, do I do it? Do I do it? Better get it done if I'm gonna do it. Oh, we made it across. Get some wheel spin. The wheels are wet now. Everything's wet over here. Gotta be a little careful. So, like I was saying, with a scooter, you're always worried about you hitting something large or your wheel falling in a hole. But this feels pretty capable off-road, actually. I am being careful on that thumb throttle. Thumb throttles, you want to tuck your thumb into the corner. You want to roll your thumb into that corner. Because you got your thumb on that throttle and you hit a big bump, it's going to pop that throttle. So you want to roll your thumb in. This scooter has no problem whatsoever doing this, guys, climbing the hills. See, that throttle almost got me there because I leaned back a little bit and pulled the throttle. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it down. Excessive power. Who's ever complained about too much power though, right? Overall, the suspension feels just fine. I didn't get any of that rebound knock that I was expecting to get. Actually feels pretty good. I'm pretty surprised by that, to be honest. And it's pretty quiet. I thought for sure with the 7 headlight setup, something was gonna be rattling. I didn't even tighten them up that much. Nothing is rattling. The scooter is nice and quiet. I almost took out that tree branch with my helmet. Forgot how tall I was standing up on this big old scooter. This thing has huge ground clearance. We'll take a look at it here in a second. So I don't think this is like the world's best off-road scooter, but it can definitely get you out here and it can definitely rip, 100%. All right, before we cross here, let's check the turning radius out. Dual fork suspension setup. Has pretty typical scooter lockover, so you're not gonna be able to do a one lane turnaround. You're gonna have to 3-point it and lean into it and hop back on it. Do some burnouts. Mode 2. Mode 2 doesn't feel insane. Mode 3 feels absolutely insane. So, yeah, pretty huge ground clearance. I wouldn't say it's a foot, but it looks like it's every bit of 10 inches. Got your ambient lights rolling. There's no app control on this scooter. You don't have to worry about any apps if you hate apps. The lights are on. They're RGB. They do their own thing. They eventually turn red, white, and blue like that, which is super cool. Your motors look cool. Your wheels look cool. The scooter just looks cool. Got 7 lights on the front. That Bluetooth speaker is awesome. Let's play that thing for you right now. All right, I'm gonna play the song that I have licensed for the video. That way, no copyright issues. Pretty cool new song, by the way. What you could do, there's a lot of room here. There's a lot of mounting places here. You could fit a couple JBL speakers on there. And then you could roll in the daytime with your music without the headlights. Throw your flip or your charge on the front there. There's actually probably a pretty good opportunity to mount a Bluetooth speaker back here also, a big tube or something, as long as you're not impeding your suspension travel. All right, the speaker is louder from the backside. So they got the speaker facing towards you, which is a good thing. Bring this to the ride outs. Nice, guys. I like it. Sounds pretty good. It's got a little bit of bass to it. Not the loudest thing I ever heard, but it sounds pretty good. I'm sure it doesn't come through on the video anyhow, but I'm just telling you how I feel about it. Let's check these turn signals out. I don't think we properly looked at the turn signals. There you go. So even though you got those blue lights on the back, the turn signals do flash yellow when you turn them on, and they're actually pretty dang visible. All right, guys, let's ride. I do got to remember this one has E-Moto style braking. The back brake is on the left side here. A lot of you guys are probably going to like that. I'm a little more used to e-bike style with the back brake on the right. So I just have to remind myself every time I change vehicles. All right, rolling out. I'm in mode 3, but I'm just basically cruising. I think if you're not going too fast, I say you could be a little incognito, but they're definitely going to see you coming from 3 miles away with the lights on this thing. I'm just going to go ahead and turn the lights off for a while until it gets dark enough. Then I'll be incognito. I want to take it to the tallest hill in town, which is not that big of a hill, but it is pretty steep. If we can get over there, we'll try it up that hill. I know it's not going to have any trouble going up the hill, but, you know, for the video. I got my full face helmet on. Hope the audio's coming through all right. I would recommend a full face helmet for something like this, guys. And I got some armored up gloves. I don't have anything on my body though. I'm just wearing a regular shirt. So I don't know. If you're riding something like this, probably should have a jacket on or something cool like that, you know. Or take your chances. Take your road rash chances. So this guy I got in my comments today talking about his son fell off his e-bike and broke his arm. I'm like, dude, that's not the bike's fault, and that's not this channel's fault. I have a disclaimer in my bio. The bike came with a disclaimer in all of the literature. E-bikes are dangerous. Any bike is dangerous. You could go out there and fall off your BMX and break your arm. So, not quite sure why they're putting that comment on my video like it's my fault or something. If your son don't know how to ride, don't let him on the bike. I even told the guy, I said, I crashed my bike 100 times growing up. And I've crashed 3 or 4 bikes in the last year at my age. I've been lucky I haven't got too hurt. Bikes are dangerous. Bikes are dangerous. And these scooters, these are probably even more dangerous, especially a hyper scooter like this. But it's also awesome, and we love it. Just, you know, mind your manners. Live to tell the stories. All right, this is the hill. I'm just gonna roll on. There ain't no reason to start from a dig. I'm just gonna mode 2 it up the hill here. This thing's got enough power, you can just creep up this hill slowly. And if you want to accelerate, you can do that too. You can just absolutely rip up the hill there. Pardon me, I'm just gonna pass through the cemetery here instead of going back. So the scooter just ripped up the highest hill in town. Pretty steep grade on that one. I will ask you guys to please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like the content. That does help out the channel for free. If you want to help out the channel in other ways, I will always have my links all over the videos, my affiliate links. I do appreciate you guys watching and subscribing and liking. And we got a whole lot more bikes to ride, a whole lot more scooters to ride. So we're doing big things. The follower count is through the roof. In my opinion, we at 168,000 now. That's just unbelievable. And I do appreciate you guys. Let me think what else I could say about the scooter. It does have this horn here. I don't feel like that horn is sufficient enough for going 45 or 50 miles an hour. It's just a little electronic horn. Probably acceptable when you're rolling down the golf cart path just to let people know you're coming. But don't expect to push that horn and and stop a car from pulling out in front of you. That's not gonna happen. That's why you got your big old Cadet hydraulic brakes with the 4-piston calipers. When you get ready to pull them hard, just lean back and sit down on it. They can shut this scooter down quick. They're just a beautiful set of brakes. I need to look these Cadet brakes up and see what they cost if you buy them, you know, just as a set. Because it'd be a real good upgrade for any bike, these 4-piston Cadets. Let me do one more high-speed run for you guys out here on the road. Mode 3, speed limit here is 35. We're gonna blast past that. In Mexico, of course. Running 45, 46. Feels pretty stable. Seeing 48 on board. It just takes a lot of effort to go this fast, guys. I mean, you really got to hang on. But to be honest, it's quite stable, quite stable. This does not need a dampener on it. It doesn't have any, there's no oscillation in the wheels at all. It might be the size of the wheels or just the weight of the scooter overall, but it doesn't need a steering dampener. I want to see if the GPS registered what I saw on board here. All right, guys, there you go. I did end up seeing 48 on the onboard when I gave it a longer run there. This is pretty far from my house, so sometimes I'm not always over here. But after giving it that long run, I saw 48 on board, and the GPS does show we hit 47. So I did add 2 more miles per hour to that top speed. As powerful as this scooter is, you don't need to be scared of this one. The way they have that throttle mapped, it comes on nice and slow. Like, even though this thing can give you 10,000 watts of peak power, you can really just ease on that throttle. It has a very nicely controlled throttle. So you don't have to be scared of this one, other than maybe the top speed. I just wonder how it would feel with that seat. Probably go faster with the seat since you'd be tucked down. All right, everyone, I am almost 19 miles into this ride. I'm just gonna ride this thing out, head on home. We will see what we end up on the battery voltage, and I will give you my final thoughts on the GlideZone JL86. All right, everyone, I stopped here. I'm gonna end the video here where everybody can still see the scooter. Let's see what we did for range on this ride. I did end up putting 20.9 miles on the scooter on this ride. Let's check the voltage. All right, the voltage is sitting at 60.3 volts. That's about 65% battery life. So after 20 miles, we're not even down to halfway yet. We're still sitting at about 65% battery life. I did ride it on mode 2 a lot, and I rode it on mode 3 a lot more towards the end of the ride. I was getting a little more comfortable on the scooter, so I started ripping on mode 3 a lot more. I did take the scooter pretty deep off-road, down the trail, up the hills, up the highest hill in town. I did cross the creek a couple times, so I definitely put the scooter through its paces today, guys. And in my opinion, 65% battery life left after riding about 21 miles of hard riding is pretty good. Okay, my overall final thoughts on the GlideZone Junling JL86 scooter. It's very fast, it's very stable, has great brakes, has great acceleration. It's gonna have a pretty long range with that big battery, and it's pretty cool. Actually, it's pretty awesome. Look at the lights. And the scooter's capability actually surprised me a lot when I took it off-road. It was very capable off-road. It does have great ground clearance. The big 13-inch tires, we were able to get through the big bumps and stuff like that. It handled itself well. All right, guys, if the GlideZone Junling JL86 is the scooter for you, I will put the link for this scooter in the description below the video. Please hit like and subscribe to the channel for more e-bike and scooter content like this. I really do appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you in the next one.